The perfect paint job
Beautiful paint job.
hides a secret.
We've got to repaint this truck.
Will innovation,
Printing is drastically cheaper than having stuff machined.
teamwork,
I will live and die for the guys in the shop.
and design
It's the fine little detail stuff.
win the Barrett-Jackson Cup?
It's what you do after the fact that makes you great.
This is the Path to Performance, presented by Castrol Edge.
I'm Isaac Gonzalez,
I'm Donnie Hall.
and we are the owners of Streamline Custom Designs in Tooele, Utah.
We are bringing two cars, a 1966 Corvette C2 custom convertible roadster and a 1953 Chevy 3100 pickup to the Barrett-Jackson Cup. The truck is a candy paint job, so I mean that's gonna get a lot of attention. At the beginning of the year, I was actually down at Barrett-Jackson Cup 2024. I decided to fly home Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to paint the cab forward. Got all the materials, got it all painted, beautiful paint job. Everything laid down perfect. I was super happy with this paint job, and I started noticing the paint was kind of rolling around the trim. Hey Isaac, I mean in the back of my head, I was thinking something's not right.
Yeah, what's up?
So come check out this. I thought the chrome, when we tightened it down, was kind of rolling the paint. See where it's kind of bubbling up on this edge,
Yep.
kind of right through there too. I think the paint's actually delaminating.
You gotta be shitting me.
The real test is a duct tape test. So we take some Gorilla tape, we put it on the back of the cab on a nice flat area, but then we peel that duct tape.
Here goes nothing.
All right.
It's
Wow.
pulling it all up off this edge.
Look at that sheet.
As soon as we start peeling it, that's all you smell is solvents.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nothing but solvent. It's painted in January. Shouldn't smell that now.
So now it's calls to the paint rep.
This is Isaac Gonzalez with Streamline Custom Designs. We needed to call the chemical so we could do a chemical analysis on it. Thank you for getting back to me so quickly.
Calls to the suppliers who sold us the materials.
I'm not trying to assess any blame.
And come to find out that the reducer I was sold was a non-compatible reducer. So, I mean, we put it in there and now it's come back to bite us in the ass.
I appreciate that. If you could send me some tracking information. The worst part of all of it is calling the owner back because he understands what it takes to do what we do, but that conversation still sucks. I mean, no one wants to have that call. We had some compatibility issues with the paint product that was supplied to us.
It's gonna be roughly 650 hours to redo it. So obviously calling the owner, had to devastate him by telling him, hey, we've got to repaint this truck.
I appreciate you. All right, thank you. Bye.
So we're gonna end up having to wet sand it with the 600, mask all the windows, everything off because we can't pull the interior out.
Talk about swift kick. I mean, it's a lot of pride too. I mean, that's my thing. Painting is what I grew up with. My dad was a custom painter. Me, I've never experienced a failure like this.
Well, here we go.
Yep.
This was a full chemical failure. The bonding just didn't happen. The paint apparently flashed on top but stayed soft underneath. So once we painted it, clear coated it, there was a barrier in there. The sealer ended up drying, the paint did not. The solvents just got trapped in there and the paint just started coming off.
This is a safe space. We're all human. Shit happens, but it's what you do after the fact that makes you great. What are you doing with this box?
Brad Pitt did teach me one thing.
What's that?
It's like a roller coaster.
I'm sending a little care package.
It's up and down. Sometimes you're doing really well and then there's times that, but you always make it through.
It's not a head, but it's paint.
My name's Tony Army, owner of American Legends, Phoenix, Arizona, and we're bringing a 1966 Chevelle to the Barrett-Jackson Cup.
The taillight assembly is probably the most challenging component. So in the back, everything's going to be LED on this car. There's a channel back here that the very thin LED strip will stick into, and then we have an air gap to help the light disperse through the lens, which will be about 3/4 inch thick when it's done. We end up blasting the back to help disperse the light through the lens. Having a thick lens gives it a deep look. Originally, we're going to have everything machined out of acrylic, and so now that we can print it all in-house and deal with trial and error just here is a lot easier than sending stuff back and forth, and the printing is drastically cheaper than having stuff machined. They have tiny little dots in them, so I know how they index together. So the UV light's curing it, so like this was liquid a second ago and now it's a solid. So it takes roughly 5 seconds for it to cure. Those are a single part now. Car is kind of almost a concept modern interpretation of the Chevelle. It's still very much a 66 Chevelle, but it's going to have a lot of today's styling wrapped into it. So it'll be kind of like, what if GM got a hold of a 66 Chevelle and tried to do a retro version? What would a Chevelle look like? So we tried to incorporate some of that styling while still starting with a 66 Chevelle. So it'll be a blend of the two. It's close, it needs a lot of fitment still. The side piece is too tight, so I have to remake the end, and then we're still printing the other side, so. But we got 9 days. So we have a LS3 here that's twin turboed from Chevrolet Performance. It's a custom engine. It's going to be very high performance. We're shooting for in between 700-800 horsepower, so we need a high performance oil that can handle that. We're going to be generating a lot of heat. We need an oil that can help control that.
I'm Tyler Nelson, owner of Revision Rods and Rides in Rapid City, South Dakota. We were building the 1969 Plymouth Road Runner for the Barrett-Jackson Cup. I've only been in business now for 6 years, but most of the guys here, when they first started, they're still here with me today.
Wade's over here getting his Crocs ready for paint booth.
I've known Boner since I was 18 years old.
Primer ready.
He's taught me a lot about everything in life in general, and he's still here. He's still one of the main guys.
This is protective cover that's going inside the wheel well. It protects all the hinges from like road debris, any of that kind of stuff. Here's the hinge pockets that we're blocking off. We'll make it all nice and clean in there when we're done. I first met Tyler. I was actually working at another shop at the time. And for some reason, we're almost 20 years apart, but we just kind of clicked. I got the passenger side all finished up, fitting pretty good. We don't put something in here, the road will literally beat them to death. So the more that we can protect, the better and longer it's gonna last. So like I say, it's just kind of more hidden things that most people don't know. We're gonna do a little decasting on some hinges this morning for the Road Runner, smooth them up, get them ready for bodywork and paint. I admire Tyler's drive as a young guy. He wanted to be at the top, ready for paint. And we've just been trying to get there for so many years. We're gonna give you a glimpse of the steering wheel for the Road Runner. We made a 3D print of it, so here it is. Tyler knows that I will live and die for this company's reputation, the guys in the shop, with the cars, with life. So that's basically what it'll look like when it's all done, other than a big chunk of billet aluminum. We all have the same goal, and it's a team effort to try to get to the top. So with this car here, everybody in the industry, they know what we're bringing to the table, so they better bring something awesome to the table too. Hi, Brian. Hi.
I have an awesome crew. I mean, you don't want it to feel like it's a hard job. I mean, because we're all doing what we love doing. I mean, a lot of people don't get to do that for their full-time job or career.
My name's Andy Leach, owner of Cal Automotive Creations in Bennington, Nebraska, and we're taking the 56 Thunderbird to the Barrett-Jackson Cup. Eric Hansen built the steel roof completely from scratch. You guys saw us uncrate it. Oh, moly. Now we gotta go build the headliner in it.
What are you working on?
The headliner for the 56 Thunderbird. So, ready to pour foam it, and I'll make like a molded looking headliner. We pride ourselves and take every measure we can to build a very timeless car. We're machining parts here the last second, and what if we machine this little badge or this little piece of trim or something, and well, we don't got time to send it to advanced plating, so let's machine it out of stainless, and we could finish it with a brushed stainless finish or a polished stainless lip on it.
Oh yeah, look at that.
And that's where all the guys here in my shop, they all have input, and we figure this out.
Looking like a T-bird top.
Eric Hansen, he's amazing. He's over there making it fit the car and repeat the shape every time when it latches down. It's just so much time involved.
So it was nickel, copper, nickel, and then now back to the original aluminum piece that I fit. Grind a little more. So you always gotta design the spot into it that's not visible, because this will actually get covered by this little cap. So I can grind on that edge there and it won't matter.
How's that going?
Good. I gotta go cut all this foam back.
Oh, really?
All the way around. Just because when I built these pieces, I intended on them just covering up just the material thickness of the fabric, which is very thin, which is like 20 thousandths. But this foam is like 1/8 of an inch thick and nothing fits anymore, so I've just been peeling this back.
Okay. A lot of it's just the fine little detail stuff. You can have the nicest pair of shoes ever, but if those laces aren't tied nice, it's like, those shoes are crap. Just like the nickel-plated roof, it's beautiful, but you gotta have the pieces around it that carry that same detail and perfection around it.
Yep. It looks pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Just gonna clean it up a bit.
We could very easily say, nobody will see that, but that's not what we do here.